Is Curtis here?
I am not seeing anybody online. Oh, one participant, that would be me. So nope, I don't see anybody online.
We'll call the order of the Board of Aviation Commissioners, start with roll call.
Commissioner Bachman,
Here.
David,
Here.
Huyen,
Here.
Morrison,
Here.
Whit. Here.
He's not here. Chair's empty.
Approval of minutes from last month.
I move we accept them as presented. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Might as well,
So before I go on,
Yeah.
can I have who?
oh, sorry.
Oh, I moved it.
Huyen, okay.
I second. Glenn. Deb.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we can do the grounds and financials, I guess. Also,
Yeah, it was grounds.
Yeah, it was in the packet. I think that, Kyle
we don't
said-
have to.
No, I move we accept the reports that were submitted, in the pre-meeting materials. Related to runway and grounds inspection. And the financial report.
Yeah, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, who was second?
Glenn was the second.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Having to think, I wonder if Curtis knows that we switched from Teams to Zoom for our online meeting.
Or we went from Tuesday to Wednesday.
Well, that too.
Yeah, I wonder about the day of the week.
Yeah. Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna throw that stone because I didn't notice it until Monday afternoon, so I will remain silent at that point. I did notice it, but I didn't notice it until Monday afternoon.
I've been out at the airport and looked at the new taxiway and it's looking good.
Good.
Looking good.
They seem to do it pretty, I mean, all those guys just seem to do pretty good, but that seemed like it was a little more organized than normal. I mean, like by the end of it, they had flattened everything out and just all the, I don't know if it was extra, but it looked like extra.
Yeah.
It was well done.
Took 2 years to get to that point.
I was gonna say, yeah, they had plenty of time to get organized, right? So it should have gone that way.
But they did it right.
Yes, it's good.
Even leveled off our hill out there.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't charge for that, did they? They just went and.
I'm pretty sure.
used
No.
the dirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I think that was the
They
plan was,
consumed the dirt in the system and.
yeah.
They should be getting rid of the note on that. So.
That's, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. If it's not already. Yeah.
Worth it. Yeah, there was some action on it. You have some stuff on there.
I don't think we've ever had a meeting without
Capital
the manager or engineer.
No, either one, yeah. They say Bill is on his way.
Yeah, it's about 15 minutes later, so.
There was some action. Yeah. There. I bet he thought it was last night.
I wonder, yeah. Well, I became a grandpa on Monday.
Hey, congratulations.
Thanks. Yep, it went great. Yep, Anna had a baby on Monday. Yep. They just came home. They just went home this afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Boy or girl?
A boy. 7 pounds, 3 ounces, 21 inches long. It was really good. Nerve wracking for me, but it was not for no reason. It was happening.
Congratulations, Phil.
It was, it was in LaPorte and it snowed the whole, the whole time. It's kind of, that lake effect snow and it was, that part was a little nerve wracking. But she wasn't in labor. She got induced, she went, but they had her come early on Sunday, because of the snow. So it kind of moved it up a little bit, which was nice. So,
So a boy, you said.
boy, yeah,
Name.
Frederick Owen. So there's 3 Owens now,
Yeah.
me, my son and him, so. I don't know what we're gonna call him yet. Maybe Freddie. We've been calling him Freddie. So when he was on the inside, so Frederick.
Is this your first grandchild?
First grandkid. Not really old enough to have grandkids, but
I was gonna say, this is me,
I
that
know.
doesn't seem right.
I look old enough, so I feel like that feels better.
Just got engaged, but I'm pretty sure that he finally broke down and did that so that he can delay the conversation about kids and that.
It's strategic. There you
Bad
go.
is I was Phil's Little League football coach.
Yep, it's true. The Bears. I think we were the Bears, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were the Bears,
we were good.
10 to 12-year-old. You were.
Is that what it was? Felt like it was even younger than that. Yeah. 10 to 12.
Were you
That
at
was-
that sectional game at Mishawaka a couple weeks ago?
No, I was
We
already.
just about won that.
Well, when I saw the score, I woke up, saw the score, I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
That must have been a game.
It was. I mean, there was a fumble with about, I don't know, 10
Yeah,
minutes
we're-
left in the fourth quarter, and that was kind of the game. I mean, we were up 10 at the start of the fourth quarter and then they scored, but we were driving back down. We were on their 30-yard line, I think, when we fumbled that. And then, they got a little momentum. They're really good. I don't know if first 3 quarters, they just weren't. I mean, we played about as well as I'd seen us play all season, so that
If
helped.
I remember right, when we played them in the regular season, we were holding them pretty good most of the game, and
First half was,
first half,
and they just kind of once they got the upper hand, we
Yeah.
couldn't
yeah.
stop them in that regular season game. And we had a really good first half, had a kind of a trick play on a 3rd down conversion, I think, like a pitch to the running back, and then he had a forward pass, that they completed it. So that was kind of a cool play to see for like a game of 12 or something like that. So it was a good game. I mean, they didn't win, but I mean, if you're gonna go out, that's not a bad way to go out, because
No.
they forced them down to about the last 3 minutes before
They were probably sweating it.
I bet they were. So, I don't know.
So did Mishawaka play in this?
Yeah, I think they played this last weekend.
They get beat.
No, they won.
I'm pretty sure they won.
So they're still going.
They're still
Yeah,
going.
was it St. Joe they played this weekend?
That might be right. Yeah.
I think it was St.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have much to do with aviation, but it's a good topic. So.
Yeah, right.
Well, there's Knox has a national
Yeah,
leader and state record holder, rusher, and yeah,
Is he a senior? Right.
yeah, he's a senior. Yeah,
like what's he averaging per game? It's like,
oh, it's got to be over 300.
yeah, on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, 300 is a bad game. I don't think he's had under 300.
And I talked to the guy that hunts out at our place. His grandson plays for CMA, and he knows the kid. And he said, "No, he's not. I don't think he's that tall."
If he walked in here, you'd say you would not. I mean, the record he may break is Derrick Henry. I mean, if those 2 people walked in here, one of them looks like an NFL player. This kid looks. You wouldn't pick him out to be the best team player on his own team.
I assume he's super fast. Like he just,
He must be like deceptively fast because he's
Yeah.
not crazy fast.
oh
I
really?
don't know what he is, man. He's amazing.
Well, Wawasee's quarterback this year was like that. He wasn't. What he could do was just accelerate like crazy. I think you were at that game. I think I saw you there. That was their whole offense, was get it to the quarterback and let him run. They didn't. I mean, it was a pretty simple offense to.
That knocker
Figure
that
out.
same way.
Yeah.
They snap it right to him and it's left and right almost every play.
That was
Yeah.
pretty much how Wawasee played. And I noticed their quarterback. What got him was he would just accelerate and just like before you knew it, he was 8 yards down, 10 yards down, picking up first down. And I don't know if he was super fast, like if he would outrun everybody else, but he could.
That's kind of the way this kid
He
is.
would
And I
excel.
mean, I'm just saying that from watching basically highlights. But I mean, when I first saw him, I didn't really know about him, but he doesn't look that impressive and it's not like the highlights. He's running away from people, but he isn't getting caught either.
Yeah,
So it's hard to
right,
tell,
yeah.
But his numbers are, I mean, they're really the other people in the state and really in the country that have had those same kind of numbers are, I mean, he may never even play in the NFL. He's probably not even good enough to play in the
Well,
Big Ten, but those numbers are amazing.
They said he hadn't really gotten much recruiting attention. I think
Right.
Valpo was the only.
Ball State, I think, wants him now
Yeah,
pretty
maybe
bad.
that's right. Yeah.
That just shows you how hard it is to I coached 21 years and there was two Big Ten kids that really could play in the Big Ten over that whole time.
Yeah.
And they weren't even the best players,
Yeah.
but I mean, they just physically were
Yeah.
the right thing.
Oh, well,
Well, Linnell Himes was probably the most impressive, just physically, he was gifted. We've had bigger kids. I mean, Kirsch was big, we've had some big kids that have been pretty good, but Linnell was like, he could go and do like his times and his weights and all his speed and his jumps and all that they were Big Ten quality.
coaching when Samuelson kid was playing.
Yeah.
He went to a big.
He got recruited. He went to Michigan and then he ended up at Wyoming, but he got recruited by Nebraska. And that whole thing was really weird because once one of those guys wanted him, they all wanted him. Michigan only wanted him because Nebraska offered. And I mean, for real. Then
And then he ended up.
he just and he never even said himself, great kid. And I like him. I like his parents.
Whose kid was that?
That was,
Kurt,
no,
Tom?
Tom, yeah. And Tom was a really good football player too.
Yeah.
But even the kid was like, I don't know if I'm, he never thought he'd be recruited by them, but he was a country kid and he sold himself. I mean, not,
Big boy.
he was big and he was the same way. He had the right numbers, but size wise, I mean, he was 6'6", like 290, could run well.
Yeah. But you don't find that too often. 6'6" guys that are close to
Can
300
move.
pounds that can accelerate,
Right.
like, have a 36-inch vertical leap or whatever. Like, yeah, there's.
Well, when they started recruiting him, and I mean no disrespect, like I said, but the truth was they wanted like film on him. And all we had was JV film. He hadn't even, when he started getting recruited heavy, he'd never even played varsity football yet. He wasn't even the best lineman on our own line.
How about Samuelson?
Yeah. It was weird. Maybe Michigan. He's married, got some little kids. Yeah, he works for a steel company. He's doing
I
well.
saw Tom play one game. I think Indiana Central at the time. I think. it
Okay.
was. We went to one of his games. I remember.
He was really good. He was really
Yeah.
quick. He was so fast off the line. He was really good. But they had both, and his son's the same way. Tom's kind of quiet, and he kind of has a little bit of a, I don't know, country tough guy demeanor, and I think that helped his son when he's getting recruited. He wear a flannel shirt, and they said, "This is the kind of guy we want."
Yeah.
You remember Curtis Ivy? He was like Linnell Himes era. He was a black kid. He was the fastest kid I'd ever been around. And he had really long straight, he's kind of track fast. He was a state track kid too. But he didn't look like he was running fast. He punt returns and stuff, he would just look like he's gonna get caught and I swear when he'd run across the grass, he would float.
Yeah.
The grass wouldn't even go down. It was crazy.
Super long legs.
Yeah, long legs.
That
He
makes
could
you
get 'em
think of
going.
that. I can't remember the kid's name, that receiver. He graduated last year that played for Northwood. He was their offense last year. They just.
Nitro or something?
Yeah, that
like
was
that?
his nickname. I don't know what his
Yeah.
actual name was, but he just was, he's probably 6'2" or 6'3", super long legs, fast. I mean, and he just flowed down the field and they had a quarterback that could hit him. So that helped. But kind of funny at that level, you get some of those teams that have one play in their offense effectively. I mean, they'll do some other stuff, but
Yeah.
like and it's just because they've got somebody who's really just at a different level than almost anybody else on the field.
The Nelheims and Curtis, same class, both black kids, and they were both played freshman football, which was unusual for them to be. I bet Curtis averaged, I bet he was 50%. If they punted, he returned it half the time for touchdown. Every time they punt, because in freshman, nobody knows, they're just kicking whoever's there.
Yeah.
At least back then they didn't know. I mean, this is a touchdown almost every time.
Well, that Mishawaka game, Plymouth got backed up 3 times on I think it was a kickoff after they scored because the ball didn't go, how far has it got to go? Like 15 yards before it goes?
And you mean for like an onside kick?
Yeah, well, no, he was just trying to kick it downfield. But I think they got penalized because it didn't go enough yards before it went out of bounds. Or maybe it went out of bounds in the
at
air.
all.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah, you can't,
Okay.
kickoff can't go out at all.
Well, and then they backed him up 5 yards and kicked it. We did that 3 times in a row before we finally got a kickoff. Yeah, it was,
Not good.
yeah, got tough.
Don't say this soon.
He didn't tell me anything, he told.
It'll be about 15 minutes later.
It's like,
Yeah, this never happened before.
So. You might want to consider, if you've had a chance to review the engineer's report, there are some action items in
Okay.
there. And based on the deadlines that Curtis listed, I think at least a couple of them. Need to be
Yeah,
acted upon.
Okay.
Now. Well, leave it up to the board to decide if you're comfortable discussing and acting on those.
well, I think so, but I don't have it in front of me. I don't have my phone.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up. But
I've got it right here. I'm trying to.
I think the major item is the capital improvement plan. And the action items are to approve the 2026 capital improvement plan and authorize to submit to NDOT and the FAA. Along with the pre-grant applications and authorization. For those grant applications identified in the capital improvement plan. I'm just going about what I'm reading in the engineer's report.
I know.
Certainly can't answer questions
I know.
about those technical details.
Key dates are December 1st and February 1st.
Yeah, the capital improvement plan and the pre-applications for those grants. He has listed as December 1st for the due date.
But he says they're in progress too.
Yep. Curtis? No,
Yeah, it was really weird. We were talking football the whole time.
I thought Curtis was gonna zoom in.
Sorry about that. Do you have his phone number? Did you? Give him a quick call to see, can't?
Can.
Okay, well, maybe if nothing else, well. If he gets it by his computer,
Yeah, 2 things here. It says board action.
put it on his speaker.
Approve the 26 CIP and authorization to submit the NDOT.
Message.
What's that?
When made it. If you want that message. Then I stepped in something that I didn't want to bring up here, so it's while we get my boot cleaned off.
I think you already sent that file, what was included in the packet.
Yeah, it's the same.
Changed it,
No, I haven't.
okay.
Just had a really good day and was thinking about that, totally spaced meeting. Don Jones stopped at the airport, late, wants to build a hangar.
Okay.
He said, find a spot, tell us what we need and we'll do it. With the
And he'd like to have the deal with the deep red shirk and that. In 5 or 10 years, if they wanna move out of it, that we'll buy it. So. To voicemail. See if he calls me back.
Well, let's go with your report
Okay.
before we do anything else. Yeah.
So rotating beacon's been out for a little while. We did not have any extra bulbs, had to wait for bulbs to come in. I did order 2 since we didn't have any spares. And then an electrician that I've hired to do some work out there was willing to buy the proper Y harness for climbing it and climbed it. While he was up there, I saw he cleaned off the lenses really good when he was putting the new bulb in that we got for him. We got the gates up at the drive at the northeast corner off of Lilac Road, like we talked about doing. So the FAA and NDOT won't give us a hard time about that drive coming in. That week that I had the lights on, we had 46 of them burn out. Of course, we didn't have that many extras, so I had to order some, and we used all of them that I ordered to finish getting them taken care of. And Randy Longenecker at Michiana had promised me some old materials that they weren't gonna be able to use, and he dropped me off a box of 30 of them, so that was nice of him. That was an expensive box of bulbs that he gave us, but of course, they don't use them anymore. We've got the stoop laid out for the new double door in the A hangar right inside the hangar door, ready to get it put up. The roof panels are assembled, and that's all you can really assemble on the ground. The rest of it you have to assemble in on site. So here, probably this next week with some decent weather, we'll get that put up. If you'll look at the runway and grounds inspection report at the bottom of it. That's just what we took in the last couple of weeks. I actually killed more groundhogs than that in 6 days. I killed 12 groundhogs. So, several inside the fence near the runway. Several in our fields that probably would have worked their way that way if they could have. What else? You heard me mention to the mayor, Don Jones came in today. For those of you that don't know Don, he was a pilot in the Navy. His sister runs a business for him out by the pawn shop where they sell antique airplane parts. They actually have some parts manufactured in Guam where he has a flight school. After the Navy, he went into the airlines, was in the airlines for a while, was retired airlines, and now he has a flight school on the island of Guam. And they have some charter services as well as flight school and starting an airline down there. He has also been talking to us about doing something at Plymouth. Told me that he was very appreciative of what we're doing there at the airport and the business that they have out there. If you walk inside, there's several old fuselages inside, along with just an unbelievable eclectic collection of parts. He buys out businesses when they're going out. He bought Wag Arrow recently. Not Wag Arrow. What was the one that just went out of business? Wag Arrow or someone like them recently went out of business, and they had all of the tooling for one of the older 1930s, 40s airplanes, like wasn't a Luscombe. And he bought all the tooling for it. So to be able to build parts. The business they have being aviation centric, they've always wanted to be at the airport. He tried to buy one of those buildings in front of the airport at one time, back when this board was trying to put a road in between out there. And he wasn't able to get it done. And when I talked to him about the potential of us building new hangars out there in the near future, he asked if we had someplace that someone could build a private hangar, and I told him we did. He said they would build one. So, I'm gonna probably go out and see his, sister tomorrow and talk to her a little bit. And I think Don's probably still in town and try and nail him down on what size they want to build, so I can come up with a spot for him to build it.
You thinking,
Don is the mayor's cousin
yeah, he's a cousin,
and has the means to do whatever he wants to do, I believe.
yeah, you talking on the east end?
I think for what they want, we'll probably build another hangar similar to the size of the lift hangar, maybe right across from the lift hangar.
So you say a room right there to do
Yeah.
another hangar?
Yep, we do. So I think that'd be the easiest place, since Patty's in and out of there every day and ship stuff UPS and FedEx all the time, so it's closer and easier.
She's shipping stuff daily, or?
Yes,
I
all the
see.
time. They have an eBay store that they sell stuff on and ship all the time. Anytime I stop and see her about something, she's packaging stuff up and taking calls and dealing with stuff off of their eBay store. He has another big warehouse out. I mean, that building there is probably the size of fit, maybe 4 cars in it, 5 cars in it. They have a bigger warehouse in Pennsylvania full of parts as well. So she had told me years ago that they would love to be closer to the airport. But now him saying they want to build a hangar, I tend to believe that he wants to build a hangar. Cool. Questions?
The lights, are you concerned about it?
I'm not,
okay.
you know, I left them on for a week, one, so people could see the taxiway. And, two, to make sure that everything was working good.
Right,
Dave Latimer used to leave the lights on every night, all night. If you recall, when I came in, I said I would rather make them, so, you know, they've always been controllable by a pilot to turn on, and it actually, my limited flight experience at that time, I found it easier to find the airport if I was the one turning them on. So we went to that and also saved some electricity.
right, and I just mean more of, I mean, I remember you saying that.
I think some of it was, I mean, some of the bulbs that we changed were bulbs that were really old bulbs. Because
So
the
I'm
new ones
saying-
have stainless bases and the old ones have brass. We
Okay,
pulled a lot of the brass ones out. So they were bulbs that probably, you know, I was changing 2 or 3 of them a month. As we get into these darker months, I'm guessing we were gonna have quite a few bulbs over the next several months go out anyway. Since we've changed them all, we haven't had any burnout.
is there gonna be a problem getting them? I
In the
know
future, yes,
we've
it
talked
is.
about that, yeah.
They've gone from $7 a bulb to $18 a bulb in the 8 years that I've been here. We had a little bit of hard time getting them during COVID, if you remember. We
Yeah.
ended up getting the double shipment and we held on to them. Randy at Michiana saying that, you know, they're done with them. No one else is using them anymore. Anything new that goes in is LED.
Well, that's kind of what made me ask that question, if nobody's
And
using
to
it.
follow up on that, Randy left me, I don't know, half a dozen LED lights ready to just plug and play. Poles already built on the poles, lights on them. All you gotta do is unplug it down underground and plug the new one in. And he said that they can be plugged right into where the existing incandescents are at.
Okay,
It'd just be a matter of, we need to get some different colored lenses for them because they're all blue for taxiway that we got as extras in the contract.
Okay.
So, but he said that it's as easy as that to change them over. He said at some point, we're gonna have to change them all over, and when we do, then they would have to look at the electric vault that we're using for it. He said because I don't know electricity enough, the voltage or the amperage, one of the two,
Should be lower.
is gonna be too high and it'll need to be lowered.
What's gonna be too high? The amperage on what?
On the old incandescent lights, if we were to replace them all with,
Yeah, they take more power, more amperage. So the LEDs take less.
right, he said that it's putting out too much for it if we change them. We would have to lower it somehow.
That makes sense. It's all on voltage.
He said it's putting out way more than we would need for it, so they would address it,
Doesn't sound right.
what he told me.
Yeah.
But I know I did ask him years ago about changing over. And he said that when the runway was repaved in 2015, he said usually the reasons people change now is because the wiring is bad and they have to replace the wiring anyway, so they go ahead and make the change. He said when the runway was widened and they had to move all the lights back then, they put in all new wiring at that time, so
Right.
our wiring is good. And then if we just need to change because we can't get bulbs, then it's
Okay.
possible to do. But with what he
As long as
just
it's
gave
a plan.
me, that's probably about a year's worth of
Okay.
bulbs. I was gonna order some more, but when he walked in and handed me that box, it was nice that I didn't have to.
Good.
You guys have any discussions when you were putting together, since the CIP was on the engineer's report, did you guys have any discussions about like putting that on the CIP, like a project?
We did not.
Okay,
We did not. The only thing we really discussed was moving the fuel farm project up in it, and we discussed that with the FAA and NDOT when we had that discussion. One of the things that I did learn when I was at conference is when we get ready to replace fuel farm, um, IDEM, Indiana Department of Environmental Management, is now doing grants at a 50% match for fuel farms. We have to fill out an application for it, and they're of course doing the ones that need it the worst first. Since we have fiberglass tanks, we probably wouldn't be one of the high ones on the list because they're trying to replace steel tanks first. But I don't know if you remember or if I talked about it very much. 2 or 3 years ago, we pay money into IDEM from taxes for fuel. And IDEM had collected over $20 million in the last several years from aviation fuel in Indiana, had not paid anything out. And a state law was passed last year that they have to give that money back. So that's what they're using for their 50% match to help airports that don't have the funds and need to do the replacement. I still think in talking with one of the consultants at Wolpert during the conference, there is most likely more money available to us as well. So it's nice to know that we can at least probably get 50% of it. That's a good start. And then we might be able to find some more also. They have a consultant that works with Curtis that's doing some of them right now, and she commented to me that she was able to get one done and found more money on top of that from other areas. And part of those other areas would be that the state, NDOT Aviation has money available for projects as well, that they like doing a 50-50 match. Up to this point, they've never done a 50-50 match. They've always done 100%. They say it's 50-50, but all the projects they've done, they've paid for 100% because they had the money. So there's some money at the state level for it as well. But that was good news that, you know, I knew we could get money from IDEM for removing the old tanks, but a 50% match is when it's looking at, you know, $750,000, $800,000 is what it's costing them to do it in Marion right now. That's a pretty good chunk.
Yeah, that's good.
That's all I got. Unless somebody has any other questions.
Bill, there are some action items in Curtis's report. Do you have a copy of that you want to review or?
I don't have one with me.
The board action things for final approval.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to review any of that or have any questions
Comfortable with
about
them? Two different things.
the
there.
report.
Get comfortable doing that or what?
I am. I mean, I had looked through this stuff, the CIP stuff. It's basically approve the CIP and then approve the request is to approve some pre-grant applications for you know, these three things that are listed in the reports: a drainage item, taxiway, intersection.
Yeah, he's got two items here I think he needs a vote on though.
Yeah. I mean, I would move that we go ahead and approve both the CIP submittal for 2026 along with the pre-grant applications that are respectively attachments A and B1-3 in the engineer's report.
Well, I'd second that.
Oh, that was. You're doing something I'm trying to do. Okay, fine.
Yeah, the pre-grant applications, they emailed them to me and I had Phil sign them all. And they were for the projects that we have listed coming up. One of them was a wildlife study that's the precursor to a fence project to fence off the ends, as well as the drainage that we want
Yeah.
to take care of going under the runway.
Yeah. And I guess I'm comfortable approving those just because those topics especially are things we've discussed, right? Those are not new
Right.
items, so I feel like they're items that we've had our eye on in some respect for a number of years, so. So that's my motion.
Yep, we had a second. We just,
Yeah.
Glenn, do you want to look it over a little bit?
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong email.
Okay.
So,
Well,
I got it.
oh, you got it, okay.
Change orders. Board action for approvals of some payments on the taxiway as well then is another one.
Yeah,
Once you're done with what you're working on.
Yeah, I think I'm good with moving forward on that.
Okay, we have a second also. Yep, all in favor?
I
So another one that I see here is approval of a change order for 6780. And then approval of pay requests, 115,000, 158,000, and the Wolpert invoice of 83,000. The taxiway is pretty much complete to the point that we will probably be paying everything out except for the retainage. And Mark told me that he was going to be lowering the retainage amount because of the amount of it that's complete. I do know that some of the retainage that is still going to be held on to. Mark and Randy agreed there was seating in the construction portion of the contract, and there was seating in the lighting portion of the contract. And the lighting portion of the contract seating, they are going to hold over until next year to see what doesn't come up in the spring so that they have money to readdress areas that need to be redone. They discussed possibly just giving us seed, and I told them I didn't like that because seed loses its germination, and I'd rather them be taking care of it since their part of their contract was to do it.
I agree.
So the last time I spoke with Kevin from Milestone Slussers, who they contracted to do the majority of the work, still has some work to come back and do around the taxiway marker signs. But about the time they were supposed to do that was when it turned really cold and we got snow, and now it's too wet for them to get on it. So I imagine if they get a chance to here in the next couple of weeks, they'll be back out there to finish that up. But Milestone was aware that they still needed to come out because he brought it up to me.
Well, how do you feel about doing those pay requests then and change orders? It's a little unusual to not have it.
So this change order is what, an extra $6,700 up? I'm saying.
Yeah, 6780,
Mm,
23.
I do know from talking with Mark, it's the total contract still falls under what the original bid was with that
Mhm.
change order.
Yeah, I think in the report there, it shows that there was an overage of that amount for the change order, but there was an under on another line that was more than the
mhm.
overage.
I think
So
I think it was the asphalt that they ended up being
Yeah.
over or under on.
the net result is still under
Under
budget.
Yeah, it's about 500 or $476 maybe, so pretty close
It's not
when you net those two.
I think if we're under the original budget and it's justified here, then we should just go ahead and approve the change order submitted.
That's second time.
Okay,
Are you gonna do that with the additional pay applications or do those separate?
Well, the pay application, do we have? is
so
it-
was the motion to just approve the change order, or was it to approve the change order and the payment of the 3 invoices?
My motion was just for the
Change order,
change order.
okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
all right. And you have the 3 invoices to approve payment for,
Yeah, I move we go ahead and approve the payment of the submitted invoices.
Second.
Anything like? Come on.
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
and the last item on here was the authorization to submit these invoices to the FAA. RFR number 8 for reimbursement by the FAA.
I'll move that we provide that authorization to Wolford.
Well, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I usually have a few extra things to add to my report, but this time since I did the report, all we've had is that snow and I sent the email out to most of you.
Saying it was the bad times, right?
Oh, we were dealing with that, but fortunately that sun came out and
Yeah,
took care of it. I mean, it was definitely an eye opener on how bad we need more equipment with the additional pavement, with that snow. So I'm sure we'll be leaning on the street department for use of one of their trucks. Jim's always been good to loan us one when they're done with them, which I'm fine with that. I don't need it that urgently that I want one now. Always been happy to wait till they're done with their shift for the day and get one, and he's always been good to let us do that. So I'm sure I'll be leaning on him a little bit more if we get more snow like that this one.
I can't remember, when's the new equipment supposed to be here? January?
Originally, I was told January, and then about 2 weeks ago, Curtis double checked with the regional manager and he told him March.
Just as helpful.
Yeah, right. It's time to put it away.
Well, he said all the implements would be in before that if we wanted to go get those, but didn't do me a whole lot of
no,
good.
it doesn't. That,
We'll already have the blower hooked up, and that's the other problem. We needed some clutch parts for the old Batwing mower, and they were the 15th. This is Friday before they're due in, so we were a month waiting on those. So in the meantime, to be able to move it back and forth and everything, we delayed putting the new snow blower on that tractor. So we didn't have that blower to use this weekend. So by next week, we'll have that rectified and have it hopefully for the next snow event that we get. And we didn't have the blower on the little John Deere tractor yet, but this snow would have been one it couldn't have, it was too wet. That thing,
Yeah.
that won't move the snow when it's that wet.
Right.
So,
That was a little unusual snow, so.
yeah.
well, I would move if we adjourn. I think we took it out of order, but I think we got through everything on the agenda.
We have all the action items.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
No other business or anything? Okay. Well, all in favor?
Aye.
That was a weird meeting.
I'm gonna have to talk with Curtis.